Hello, welcome everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing worded problems on simultaneous linear equations. So let me do question number 1. It says the sum of two numbers is 20 and one number is 4 more than the other. Find both the numbers. So obviously we need to take help of algebra, and it's a linear simultaneous equation. That means obviously we'll be getting two different equations and also in two variables. So if sum of two numbers is 20, it's very easy. X plus y is 20. Then it says one number is 4 more than the other number. That means let's say one number be x. Then another number will be 4 more than the other. So I would be saying y will be x plus 4. So this would be my second equation. Sum of two numbers is 20. And my second equation will be y is equals to x plus 4. So either you can do substitution method or you can do elimination. Here I think it's way more easier to do substitution. Directly substitute the value of y here, which is x plus 4. So x plus 4 equals 20. 2x is equals to 20 minus 4, 16, and x is equals to 8. And if x is equals to 8, we have to substitute this value back here in either of the equation to get the answer. So that will give me y as 12. So two numbers are 8 and 12. Very easy. Moving on to the next one. Question 2 says a cinema sells adult tickets for £8 and child tickets for £5. On a certain day, they sold 50 tickets and collected £340. How many adult and child tickets were sold? Well, here let me say x represents the number of, you can take any variable. If it would be easier, you can take a and c, a for adult and c for child. Here I am taking x and y are conventional variables. So x represents the number of adult tickets and y represents the number of child tickets. And the total is, because they have already mentioned that they sold 50 tickets. So x plus y is 50. And total revenue generated is 340. That means when they sold x number of adult tickets worth 8 each, that means the total revenue generated from the adult tickets will be 8x. And similarly, because each child ticket is for £5 and there were total y child tickets that were sold, so the revenue generated would be 5y, and that's equals to 340. Now we just have to use the elimination method. So I'm just writing it, x plus y is equals to 50 and 8x plus 5y is equals to 340. Now let me make x the same. You can pick any variable. So I'm just making x same. So that will give me 8. This will become 8y, and 50 times 8 will give me 400. Subtract, subtract, subtract. So this will become 3y and this will become 60. So y will be 20. Now substitute in either of the equation. The first one is much more easier. So when I substitute y as 20 here, I'll instantly get x as 30. So that means that child tickets were 20 and the adult tickets sold were 30. Moving on to the question number 3. The total cost of 3 pencils and 2 pens is £4.50. The total cost of 2 pencils and 4 pens is £5.40. Find the cost of each pencil and each pen. So 3 pencils and 3 pen, let's say pencils be x and pens be y. So 3 pencils and 2 pens, so worth £4.5. Whereas 2 pencils and 4 pens worth £5.4. And now we have to find, so it's easier to make y same. For that I just need to multiply this with 2, this with 2, and this with 2. In doing so, this will become 6x. So that will be 6x. This will become 4y. So that will be 4y. And this will become 9. Now I just need to subtract, subtract, subtract. That will give me 4x, that's 0, is equals to 9 minus 5.4, which is 3.6. So x will be 0.9. The cost of pencils are at 0.9 pounds. Now substitute in either of the equations. So let me substitute it here in this way. So 2x plus 4y is equals to 5.4. Even if I divide both the sides by 2, it will simplify it. So x plus 2y is equals to 2.7. X was 0.9, so 2.7 is equals to x equals 2.7 minus 0.9 will give me 2y is equals to 1.8 and y is again 0.9. So that means both of them have the same value, which is 0.9. Okay, moving on to the question number 4. A taxi company charges a fixed booking for plus a cost per mile. For a 5-mile trip, the cost is £12. For 8-mile trip, the cost is £18. Find the booking fee and the cost fee. So a taxi company charges a fixed booking fee. That means, let's say that be X. And a cost per mile. So that BY will be the cost per mile. For a 5-mile trip, the cost is £12. So that means X plus the fixed one. And the cost per mile is, because it was 5 in the first case, so 5y, and the total cost was 12. In the second case, still X is the fixed one and cost per mile. So let's say in that case they are, okay, here it's mentioned 8 miles, so it was a 8 mile and total was £18. Here we don't have to make anything same, X is already same, just subtract it. Subtract and subtract. That will give me minus 3y is equals to minus 6. So y is equals to 2. So that means the cost per mile, the value is £2. And the fixed one is, let me substitute here. So x plus 5 times 2, 10 equals 12. And x is equals to 2. So that's also £2. So the fix is also £2 and cost per mile is also £2. These were the foundation questions. Now these are specifically the higher tier questions. So question 5 says, two trains travel towards each other from stations 200 kilometers apart. One train travels at 60 kilometers per hour and other at 40 kilometers per hour. They start at the same time. How many hours will they meet? Like after how many hours they will meet? So there are two trains like this one and this one, and they are traveling towards each other and the distance is 200 kilometers. Now one train travels at 60 kilometers per hour and the other at 80 kilometers per hour. They start at the same time. After how many hours will they meet? So in that case, I would be saying that, so one of the train is traveling at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour and another is at 40 kilometers per hour. Now the time, after how many hours will they meet? That means they will travel the same time. If they have started, though their speed is different, obviously the distance traveled will be different, but time will be same obviously. So if they have started at same time, that means after same particular time they will meet. So time will remain exactly the same. That means for the first one, the speed is equals to distance over time, and first speed is 60. Let's say distance be d and time be t. Then for the second one, distance will be 200 minus d, because I told you since they have a different speed, the distance travel will also be different. So in that case, it will be 200 minus t and speed will be 40 over t. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2. Either we can just directly divide them together, or I can just do 60 times t is equals to d and substitute d as 60t. So 40 is equals to 200 minus 60t over t. Now cross multiply, I'll get 40t is equals to 200 minus 60t and 100t is equals to 200. That will give me t as 2 hours. That means after 2 hours they'll meet together. Moving on to the question number 6. A shop sells apples at 1.2 pounds each and bananas at 0.8 pounds each. On Monday, they sold 150 pieces of fruits for 156 pounds, and on Tuesday they sold 180 pieces of fruits for 198 pounds. Find how many apples and bananas were sold on each day. Let's say that apples, I'm saying A, worth 1.2 and banana worth 0.8. So on Monday they sold A, which is 1.2, and I'm also representing, let's say, X and this by A and B also you can take. I'm taking X and Y. So X be the numbers of apples sold and each is 1.2. So 1.2X plus number of bananas B, Y, and each is 0.8Y, and they together is equals to 156.
Y is equals to 150. So multiply this by 1.2, 1.2, and 150 times 1.2 will give me 180. So that I'm directly writing 180 here. Now subtract. This will be negative 0.4y, and this one be 24, negative 24. And then we have to divide both the sides by 0.4, so y will be 60. So if y, that is bananas, are 60, then apples would be 180 minus 60, which is 90.
Now for part second. Again, let me take the same variable. So 1.2x plus 0.8y is equals to now 198. And same x plus y is equals to, now here previously it was 150, it's now 180. I'm doing same, I'm multiplying it with 1.2, 1.2 and 180 times 1.2, which I can directly write as 216. I have directly multiplied, I'm just writing the product. Subtract. So from here, this will be 216 minus 198 is minus 18, and this will give me negative 0.4. And finally 18 divided by 0.4, that is 45. So we have calculated y as, that means the bananas as 45, and the total pieces were 180. That means apples will be 180 minus 45. That will give me 135. So this is the answer for question 6. Question number 7. A rectangle's length is 5 more than its width. Its area is 336 centimeters squared. Find its dimension. It's very easy. See, this is basically a rectangle, and let's say the length is width is W. Then length is 5 centimeters more than its width. That means 5 plus W. And its area is 336 centimeters squared. That means area is W times 5 plus W is equals to 336. That will give me 5W plus W squared minus 336 equals 0. Or write in standard way, W squared minus 336 or plus 5W minus 336 is equals to 0. So we have to see that the two numbers when multiplied will give me minus 336, and sum should be 5. Two numbers are 21 and 16. Obviously the product is negative and sum is positive. So 21 and negative 16. How to find two numbers for factorization is very easy. I have already discussed in my quadratic video, and in my quadratic video you can go over that. So that will be directly W plus 21 times W minus 16 equals 0. Obviously width cannot be negative, so W equals negative 21 won't work, 16 will work. So its dimensions are 16 and length is 5 greater than it, so that means that will be 21. So 16 and 21 centimeters are the dimensions of this. Now question 8 says a car rental company charges 25 pounds per day plus a one-time insurance fee. Another company charges 35 pounds per day with no insurance fee. Renting from the first company for 6 days costs the same as renting from the second company for 5 days. Find the insurance fee. Okay, well, this is very simple one. It's almost a linear equation. So basically, it says a car rental company charges £25 per day. So it's £25 per day plus a fixed insurance fee. So per day is X. So 25X plus I. That's from the first company. Then second is 35Y. That's from second company. Now it says that renting from the first company for 6 days, that means 25 times 6 plus I is equals to renting it for 5 days. So that's 150 plus I is equals to 175. So I is 25. That means the insurance fee is £25. So these were basically in linear equations. You will find very simple, and this one was even, I can't consider it as a simultaneous, it's just a simple linear equation. But in linear simultaneous equations, the worded problems are very easy, and in foundation tier, that's what they'll ask you. But for higher tier, generally they'll give you the questions from non-linear simultaneous equation in higher marker sites. So that's it for today. If you are looking for one-on-one live online classes, GCSE classes are starting at just £6 per hour. This is very minimum rate, I would be saying. And we have really experienced tutors, and they are very good. If you want to enroll or to book a free demo, just email us at edexacademy@gmail.com. And also, if you're looking for any class from year 1 to A levels, just email us at edexacademy@gmail.com. Or if you are looking for these free worksheets, they are available at our website, which is edexacademy.com. So that's it for today. Bye everyone. Take care.